The Aegean wind whipped Theseus's hair into a frenzy, mirroring the turmoil within him. Standing on the deck of the Athenian triime, he was a beacon of defiance, muscles taut beneath the coarse sailcloth. Unlike the other Athenian tributes' faces etched with terror, Theseus burned with a fierce resolve. He wasn't just another sacrifice, he was the son of Aegeus, king of Athens, and he carried the hopes of a city on his broad shoulders. The whispers of the Minotaur, a creature of legend with the head of a bull and the body of a man, haunted the ship. Every 9 years, Athens, along with its rival Crete, was forced to send 7 youths and maidens as a gruesome tribute to this insatiable beast. This year, Theseus, driven by a burning desire to prove his lineage and free Athens from this monstrous burden, had volunteered. Crete, bathed in an oppressive sunlight, rose from the sea like a cruel mirage. The grand palace of King Minos shimmered with an unsettling opulence, its very stones seeming to reek of arrogance. As they were presented before the Cretan court, Theseus felt a prickle of unease. King Minos, a man whose eyes held the glint of polished obsidian, surveyed them with a detached amusement. This wasn't a mere ruler, this was a predator savoring his prey. Amidst the opulent court, a flicker of hope blossomed for Theseus. Ariadne, Minos' daughter, possessed a beauty that rivaled the Cretan sun. Unlike her father's cold demeanor, her eyes held a spark of compassion, a flicker of rebellion against the barbarity surrounding them. Under the watchful gaze of the palace guards, stolen moments of connection blossomed between Theseus and Ariadne. He confided in her his plan to escape the labyrinth, a plan fueled by desperation and a growing affection for the young princess. One starlit night, Ariadne, defying her own father, snuck into Theseus's chamber. Her voice, a hushed whisper, sent shivers down his spine. The labyrinth. She explained, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek, is a twisted beast. This ball of red silk, imbued with magic, will be your guide. Follow it, and it will lead you out. Her touch lingered on his hand, a silent promise hanging heavy in the air. The labyrinth was a nightmare made flesh. Dank corridors reeked of decay, the air thick with the chilling silence that precedes a scream. The silken thread, held tight in Theseus's hand, became his lifeline. Each twist and turn led to dead ends, echoing with the moans of past victims. Doubt gnawed at his resolve, but the thought of seeing Ariadne again, of returning a hero to Athens, propelled him forward. Then, a guttural roar shattered the silence. The Minotaur, a hulking monstrosity with a bloodshot eye and razor-sharp horns, emerged from the shadows. The stench of raw flesh filled the air, a sickening prelude to the battle to come. Theseus, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm, drew his sword. The clash of steel against bone echoed through the labyrinth, a desperate symphony for survival. The Minotaur, fueled by a primal hunger, attacked with relentless fury. Theseus dodged its savage blows, his muscles screaming in protest. The labyrinth, sensing the struggle, began to shift, threatening to bury them both in its crushing stone embrace. The red thread, frayed and stained with blood, became Theseus's only beacon in the growing darkness. With a final, desperate lunge, Theseus found an opening. He lured the Minotaur towards a hidden pit, a gamble fueled by adrenaline and a thirst for vengeance. The earth rumbled as the monstrous beast tumbled into the abyss, its dying bellows swallowed by the shifting labyrinth walls. Exhaustion threatened to claim Theseus, but the thought of Ariadne spurred him on. Following the crimson thread, his only connection to the world above, he stumbled out of the labyrinth and into the welcoming embrace of dawn. But as he looked around, a cold dread gripped his heart. Ariadne was gone. Grief, as sharp as any Minotaur's horn, pierced him. Had she betrayed him? Or had she been captured by her vengeful father? The unanswered questions gnawed at him as he set sail for Athens, a bittersweet victory clinging to him like the stench of the labyrinth. As the Athenian coastline neared, Theseus saw a flag flapping atop the city walls, a black flag, the symbol of mourning. A horrifying realization washed over him. In his haste, he'd forgotten to raise the white sails, the prearranged signal of victory. He'd condemned his own father to despair. Grief, heavier than any labyrinth wall, crashed down on Theseus. He reached the shore to find a city draped in mourning and a king broken by despair. Aegeus, his once proud face etched with lines of grief, crumpled to his knees at the sight of Theseus. The king's misinterpretation of the black sails had driven him to take his own life, hurling himself into the very sea that would forever bear his name. The weight of his father's death became an anchor around Theseus's soul, a constant reminder of his recklessness. Taking the throne felt like a hollow victory. The cheers of the Athenian people, relieved from the Minotaur's curse, rang hollow in Theseus's ears. He ruled with a heavy heart, haunted by the echoes of the Labyrinth and the memory of Ariadne's tear-stained face. Years bled into decades. Theseus, seeking solace in action, embarked on a series of perilous quests. He joined forces with his friend Perithous, a warrior as bold as he was brash. Together, they kidnapped Helen, a woman of breathtaking beauty, who would later become the spark that ignited the flames of the Trojan War. One reckless adventure led to another. Theseus and Perithous, fueled by a thirst for glory, descended into the underworld, a realm where even the gods dared not tread. Their aim to kidnap Persephone, the wife of Hades, the god of the underworld. While Theseus eventually managed to escape the clutches of the underworld, Perithous was condemned to remain there for eternity, a chilling testament to the folly of their ambition. Back in Athens, Theseus found himself embroiled in a conflict with the Amazons, a fierce tribe of warrior women. The tales vary, some claiming he fought alone, others that he had the legendary Hercules at his side. Regardless, one of the Amazon queens, either Hippolyta or Antiope, became his captive and later his wife. The union, however, proved short-lived. The fierce Amazon queen longed for her homeland and eventually left, taking their son, Hippolytus, with her. Theseus, ever restless, found solace in a new marriage, this time to Phaedra, Ariadne's younger sister. A semblance of peace settled upon him, but it was a fragile one. As fate would have it, tragedy would once again rear its ugly head. Phaedra, consumed by a forbidden passion for her stepson, Hippolytus, confessed her feelings. When Hippolytus recoiled in horror, a vengeful Phaedra, fearing rejection and scandal, accused him of attempted rape. Theseus, blinded by rage and grief, believed his wife's lies. He cursed his son, unleashing a monstrous sea serpent that dragged Hippolytus to his death. The truth, as it often does, came to light too late. Phaedra, consumed by guilt, took her own life. Theseus, his heart shattered by the realization of his error, was ostracized by the Athenians. His reign, marked by triumphs and devastating losses, had become a cautionary tale. Exiled from the city he once ruled, Theseus wandered the land, a broken shell of the hero he once aspired to be. Legends claim he met his demise on the island of Naxos, where he had abandoned Ariadne. Some say he was struck down by Zeus's lightning, a punishment for his arrogance. Others whisper of a fall from a cliff, a final, tragic misstep in a life forever teetering on the edge. The legacy of Theseus remained a complex one. He was a hero who slew the Minotaur, a king who united Athens, and a man whose ambition and recklessness brought him immense sorrow. His story served as a reminder of the delicate balance between courage and hubris, between love and loss, and the enduring power of choices, shaping not just our own destinies but those around us.